Hello everybody and welcome back to another interesting video in mine. This is a video I've been wanting to make for a while. I just never really got around to doing it. I was doing all those other edit videos and that Fort Max video. And yeah, and those videos were pretty cool. They did pretty well. I did stop for a bit making, of course, long videos like I usually do. This time it was because if you saw my community post, my dog Lily passed away. Literally, I think, 22 minutes after I think about 22 minutes or so after I uploaded that video, or 20 minutes after I uploaded that video, my mom yelled at me. I went out there, and she was, like, having a seizure or something. By the time we got her to the vet, or tried to get her there, she was already gone. She was 11. She was on that road anyways. She was getting old. I think it said like a dog in human years, since, dogs and animals age faster than us. They'd be like 60 or like 70 years old. So she was getting in that age where she's really old. A quick little brief on it, I guess. You can skip this if you want. It'll probably take like a minute. But anyways, we took her into surgery. We gave her surgery. It was successful. She had to stay the night there at the vet. We brought her home the next day, and we had her there, and then we had her, I think, for another full day, maybe. And then, I think we had her for about 2 days, because we had her for half a day, and then another sort of half a day the day she passed away, and then one full day. So we had her for about 2 more days. We had little idea that we would only have her for another 2 days before she would die, which is crazy when you think about it. But anyways, the whole thing I have about it, like, my whole idea is, like, the blood, since she was born, the blood kept going and it kept going, so she was able to stay alive. The whole thing, too, with her was she had to get surgery because she had, like, a fatty tumor blocking her, like, hole to poop. So they had to go in there, the doctor cut it up, and then it would just, he said it would dissolve. My whole idea is, like, when they put her into surgery, it kind of stopped her blood flow, kind of, so she didn't have as much momentum to keep herself going. So as she was trying to stay alive and keep going, she didn't have enough energy to keep herself alive, and her body gave up. That's my whole idea with this. But anyways, that's a quick little brief on that. Anyways, let's get to the fun part of the video and no more sad stuff. R.I.P. Lily. We did have her cremated, and now our dog Mac. If you look at the photo I uploaded, Mac in the background, he has been actually quite sad. Obviously, we had them. I think we've had them since I was like, I'm 14, soon to be 15 in like 2 months. And we had them for like, oh my god, since I was like probably 5? We've had them for a long, long time. I was really young when we got them. We basically grew up with them because we got them when they were babies. But yeah, enough of that. Let's get into something more exciting and not as sad. But, today we're talking about crossovers. Jesus, it took me 3 minutes to talk about that. Anyways, we're talking about crossover figures. I have a bunch of figures right here off screen to talk about, because I have ideas for crossover figures. And without further ado, let's get into it. Who do we want to talk about first? No, I want to wait on you, because there's a lot to talk about with you. And we'll talk about this guy first, since I don't have much to talk about. Ectotron. I think they should do more Ghostbuster crossovers. Flat. Just flat like that. Flat out, straight up like that. Crossovers I think they should do for Ghostbusters. I think they could do, obviously, a Ghostbusters 2 version, because they've done this version, and Afterlife, and then a second. Maybe if they want a 2016 version, I definitely would buy it, because that car is interesting. I definitely prefer the original movie, but I do have to say that the 2016 version was interesting. But I think they should make maybe, a 2016 version if they want. Maybe the motorcycle as well. And then, of course, the second movie version as well. I think those are some crossovers they could do. I think they definitely should branch out more of their crossovers and not just make one and be done. Because like with Jurassic Park, they've made like 4 crossovers for it. And what are some others? I think there was like another one where they made a bunch of crossovers. Well, Ghostbusters 2, they made 2 of them so far. I think they should make another few. But that's Ectotron. I think that's all I got to really say. There's not much to say about him. I just wanted to say that. But yeah. I'm going to wait on this guy. I have another guy right here. Let me scoot camera over and then straighten it. There you go. I'm going to wait on that guy because I have a lot to talk about with him. So we'll straight up go to one of the bigger bots that I have here. Here is this gangly ass mess. This is Menosaur, of course. G2 version. I only keep him mainly because of nostalgia. This was one of my very first combiner toys. I got him probably for like one of my very first Christmases. I got him probably when I was like 6 or 7. I was very young. Oh, Jesus. I'm talking a lot with my brother and stuff and my family. It's also kind of warm in here. Got a bit of a headache coming on. I'm talking a lot. Okay. Here we go. I brought this guy out as an example. I think they should make a crossover combiner. Just like that. I looked up online Transformer crossovers, and one of them I saw was a custom Ninja Turtles one, which was like a combiner team. Looks dope. Love it. I think what they should do is make a Scramble City styled combiner team, but with crossover figures. Say with, again, Ectotron here. He is, of course, based off the Hotspot / Inferno combiner torso. And I think they missed a big mark. I think it would have been cool. Actually, no, they didn't miss a mark. I understand why they did this. I think it'd be cool if they released a bunch of crossovers. And then in the future, say they released, I don't know, a gift set maybe. Oh, excuse me. A gift set of them, but retool these guys so then they have the combiner joints back. I think it would be dope to do that, because, again, they could get, like, say, you know, this guy could be the torso, you could get Knight Rider, General E, the DeLorean in there, and then you have Ectotron. Who else could we do? That's already 4. The A-Team van. You could do that, too. Actually, could we do the A-Team van? I don't know. That's kind of a big vehicle. I feel like that would have to be a torso bot. I feel like the limb bots would be, like, high-speed cars. I feel like the van is too big to be a limb. The Batmobile. Do the Batmobile. The original one. I forget which one it was, but it was like the original one that was like black, had red stripes on the side of it. I think, yeah, it was pretty cool. I have a Hot Wheels version of it somewhere. If it was sitting on the top of my bucket down there, I'd grab it. But yeah, that's just another thing. I think they should make a combiner crossover. Like this, Scramble City, I could see them redoing that. Say like Gigawatt here, which we will talk about in a bit, but I have a lot of stuff to talk about with him. There's a lot of Back to the Future crossovers they could do. I think they should take one of these car bots, maybe this guy right here, I feel like they could do, and retool it to look like Gigawatt and be Gigawatt, and then make it a combiner team. It'd be a very interesting thing. I think that's what they should do. I think that would be a very cool thing. Make it Scramble City, because another guy we're going to be looking at here is a very unique combination. It's one of the unique ones, like Predaking and Devastator. Don't do that, because, again, lots of kids, especially me, are going to want to take these limb bots here of crossover vehicles and put them on other combiner teams, because it would be cool. The Scramble City idea is a cool concept if it's done right. This guy only looks good, not the best, but I guess if he's standing like that, he looks decent. But yeah, that is one idea I have. Crossover combiner, don't fall over. He leans back a ton. Let me see if I can show you this on camera. Look at that. He literally leans back. So, and it's not even like he's back heavy. He's got more stuff on his chest than his back. Yes, I know the front chest thing is hollow, but still. I guess it's probably... Oh, God, shut the flippin' chest. I guess it's probably from, like, the arms, because that's another complaint with this guy I have. The shoulders here, especially this guy, I swear, are way too far back. The drag strip seems fine. This guy doesn't at all. But yeah, we'll wait to do it. The biggest bots I have here. I have 2 big bots. We'll go back to smaller bots. Here we have this guy. Oh, I almost tipped out of my chair trying to grab this. This guy, and this guy, of course. I think they should do... He's covered in dust. He's been sitting on my shelf forever. I think this guy, they should retool him and do a Convoy Transformer crossover. I think it'd be cool. I forgot to grab the Optimus. I guess, yeah, the Optimus there, Earthrise one, he's right about... he's right there above my finger now. Yeah, right now. I think they should take that guy and retool him, maybe make him Pigpen. That was the guy, right? Yeah, that's who it was. Retool it, make him that truck. This guy, make him probably retool him a bit, make him the main truck that was in the movie. Rubber Duck, of course, classic character. Love him. Very cool. Yes, I've seen it. I don't care if it's not for kids. I'm 14. Frick off. I'm going to try and be a bit more child-friendly. So, it's the worst names I'll say is frick. But, yeah. I think they should do a Convoy crossover. I think it'd be cool. Also, one thing with this guy is I think it's, yeah, this smokestack. I need to get my dad to glue that on there. That thing keeps coming off. The other one feels like it's about to start falling off, too. Okay. Who else? I don't want to talk about Back to the Future yet, because I'm going to talk about that one probably last, because I have a ton of crossovers for Back to the Future. I'm also in this video not just talking about crossovers they haven't done yet. I'm also going to talk about ones they have shown off in comics and stuff. And then obviously talk about ones in comics, and then talk about why they should make them, and it'd be cool if they did. So we're not just talking about characters I think they should do. I'm going to be also talking about characters they've already done, just not made toy versions of them yet. Who do we want to do next? We'll do this guy. Because I'm bringing this guy out for two reasons. One, because I think they really should do this crossover, and two, I want another excuse to bring him out. Is, of course, Devastator. He is just tall enough to fit on camera. Gotta flip down the shovel shoulder a bit. He's a little too big for it. But anyways, if you guys know with the G1 version, I should have grabbed it, but I didn't, because that thing's actually a mess. It just sits on my shelf. God, this guy looks so good on camera. He looks so good doing that stance, like, he looks so freaking good. But, yeah. If you guys know the G1 Devastator crossover, they have already done one with him. It was the, oh my god, what was it? It was the Tonkanator. I think is who it was, yeah. Which is very funny. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, the Tonkanator. One thing I've been thinking about to myself a lot was like, man, I think they should do a Combiner Wars version. Don't get me wrong. Sorry, my voice cracked. Don't get me wrong. I love G1 Devastator. But no matter how much you try to fix it, it's always going to be a mess. It's always going to fall apart. When I played with him when I was younger, because I did get my G1 Devastator years and years ago, I played it with him with like G1 Metroplex, G1 Superion, G1 Defensor, you know, all that kind of stuff. The other combiners I would move because, you know, the other Scramble City ones were solid bricks. Nowadays, well, not nowadays, back in Combiner Wars, everything was flip-flopped. Of course, this guy was probably the most solid combiner team, and then almost all of the Scramble City combiners were floppy messes. Not all of them, I take that back. I think the Defensor one was actually pretty sturdy, yeah, because the Torso Bot guy, I do have him. And then the Superion one... Sounds like thunder. Hopefully you guys can hear me, too. I got my fan going. But yeah, also the Superion one, I think... Yeah, it was pretty stable. I don't have that one. I really would be like... I think they I would love to get that one. That could also be a cool... Ooh, that's an idea I just got. I think they should take the Superion figure and make that into a Top Gun crossover. Ooh, make a combiner team of just jets. They wouldn't even have to do much for that. They could just easily repaint their jets. I wouldn't care. It says Top Gun and has the paint scheme. I'd buy it. But yeah. Devastator, back to him. I think they should make just straight up a Combiner Wars Tonkanator. I love G1, but it's a floppy mess. When I played with him as a kid, I never moved him. The other combiners, you know, Defensor, Superion, I moved them all the time because they were solid, like, bricks. They could easily move. Well, Defensor was a brick. Superion, he was kind of floppy, but at least all the characters held together. But Devastator, Jesus Christ, I'm sorry to use his name in vain, but seriously, he was a floppy mess. Not floppy mess, he was just a mess. He fell apart every time I move him. I'd only ever let him sit like one place and then move his arms. Mainly one of the reasons I didn't move him was because every time setting him down was a pain in the butt. Because the little bucket foot, you know, the toe bucket foot on him, it never stayed in place. It was so loose. I didn't even know how to fix it when I was younger. My dad never even tried because I never asked him. It was super floppy. That's one thing, too, about the Combiner Wars version that's so much better. Look at this. It not only... Yeah, in G1, it's like that. It sticks out. Not only in this new version does it collapse, but it also snaps into place. Also, mine does not have any stress marks. I've heard people say they broke theirs. Mine is not broke yet. But, yeah. Let me move this guy slightly out of camera. Sorry, bud. I do love you. I'll make sure you're in camera as much as me. But, yeah, I think that's something they should do. I feel like the Combiner Wars version will work so much better because the Combiner Wars Devastator is so much more solid. I mean, come on, let's all agree here. It's way more solid. But, yeah, is that all I want to talk about with you? I really like talking about this guy. He's one of my favorite characters. He usually now just sits on that little shelf display I showed you guys there with, of course, the other Ectotron and then G1 Devastator and, of course, his box. This guy, of course, I do love. That's one other thing I've been thinking about. You guys can tell me if you'd like to see this. I've been thinking about taking, like, the Playmobil cars and putting them with the crossovers, because of course I have the DeLorean, Marty's truck, and then of course the Ecto-1 with the firehouse, which is covered in dust. I don't even want to show you because it's disgusting. I'm looking at it right now. It's gross. It's not as bad as you think. It's just got a lot of balls of hair on it and dust and stuff. It's gross. But it's cat hair, not human hair. Don't worry. I'm not shedding hair at a tremendous amount. Don't worry. But yeah. I think this guy would be cool as Tonkinator. But yeah, oh yeah, I'm getting off track. Back to the crossover thing. I was thinking about giving them a display. That's all I want to say. I was thinking about giving Gigawatt Ectotron a display, like have the Transformer versions, of course, in robot mode, and then have the car modes there with them. Of course, I don't think I've told you guys this, but this DeLorean here is just big enough for Gigawatt to do that poster that someone made, where it's like, it's him stepping out of the car. This guy, it opens, and if you flip his foot into his leg, it's actually just big enough to fit inside of this. So then you can have him do that shot. So maybe I'll do that. And then, of course, Ectotron, he doesn't have any specific like pose with his car mode, so I'll just put him next to it. But yeah, that's something I've been thinking about doing because I love Devastator so much. I love the other guys just as much as this guy. I love this guy, and I gave him his own display, and I feel like I should give the crossovers their own display. But the problem is, if I do that, I'm going to be taking them off my shelf. God, I feel warm. I'd be taking them off the shelf, and that would mean that I wouldn't have anything relating to that type of brand, so it would just be Transformers and trains. Okay. We'll talk about one more big bot, and then we'll get to the Back to the Future crossovers, because there is a ton to talk about. Sorry, Devi, you gotta take you off screen. I love him. I do love Combiner Wars Devastator. I know a lot of people said they don't like him. I like him because how simple he is. Again, when he came out, the biggest thing Devastator had going for him was, of course, the fact that he was, big. He was the biggest combiner up to that point, until I think Toy World Devastator came out. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this guy came out before. Toy World Devastator is, I think, like 20 inches tall, or 21. I think he's like 2-3 inches taller than that Devastator. But I do like that Devastator. Very simple and easy. Next guy is the biggest Transformer toy I own, and might be the heaviest, I think. It is, of course, Fortress Maximus. You can't even see him on camera. Devastator, you can see his head right at the top of the camera, which does make sense, because Devastator's head does go up about here. But yeah, you know what? Here, I'll back up and then hold him, because I have train tracks and other stuff on my table behind the camera, and that's as far as back as I can get the camera. Fort Max here. It's hard for me to look at this guy ever since my dog died, and I made all those really cool, my first edit videos and this guy's video on that day. So it is still a little bit hard to look at him, but not as much as it did the first day when Willie died. But yeah, the crossover I think they should do with this is very simple and self-explanatory, I think, if you guys do know this stuff. There was a couple years ago a Star Trek Transformers crossover, and excuse me. Excuse me, Jesus. And yeah, with this guy, he turned into the Starship Enterprise, the main ship from the Star Trek show. And the only thing that was similar between this guy and the Fort Max Star Trek one, Fortress Tiberius, which is actually a pretty cool name, in my opinion. The only similarities I think they shared was the fact that they had both blue hands and the same head. Other than that, it was a completely different design. I think it would be cool if they did that. I know why they didn't do it, because I think at the time they weren't even doing crossovers, but also the fact was, it's a Titan class, and I'm pretty sure the biggest crossover they've done so far was like a leader class. G1 Devastator does not count, of course, because again, the combined mode itself struggles to be the size of like a Voyager. It's very, actually wait, no, it struggles to be the size of like, I think a leader class, Rodimus Prime and stuff is about how big it is. It is small, don't get me wrong, but it's not as small as you think. But yeah, I think it would be cool. I'm sorry, I'm just fiddling with this guy. I don't ever take him off the shelf as much, because you can see up there, it looks very weird without him. He was one of the first guys I put on the shelf. I'll just set him here. I don't care that you can't see him. But yeah, I think it'd be cool if they did that. They did a Star Trek Transformers crossover, and make the toy. It definitely, I know, would be a pain in the butt to do, because it would be an entirely new design for this guy. The only parts they'd probably be stealing from this guy would be the head, but it probably wouldn't transform. which I'm perfectly fine with. And then, of course, the hands. One thing I think they should also steal from another character, I think they should steal the idea from the arc of the whole bridge thing. I think they should take that over to this guy, if they ever turn him into that. I think that's what they should do. Give this guy a bridge, make him a whole new design. It'd be very cool. They did it with the Jurassic Park. I think, yeah. I think out of all the 4 Jurassic Park or not just dinosaurs, but all of them in general, the only one that had like a similar design to another character or like a reused design was Tyrannosaurus Rex. All the other 3 Jurassic Park crossovers, the 2 vehicles and the other dinosaur, were all new designs. So I know it's a Titan class figure, and Hasbro has never done a Titan class crossover figure. Oh, your foot's coming undone, bud. Yeah, that's one thing too. My guy has the clip on the side here. Part of it's broke, so it doesn't hold on the best. There you go. But yeah, I think it would be cool if they did a Fortress Maximus as the Starship Enterprise. But yeah, is that all I want to say about this guy? I do love him and I love talking about him, but I think that's all I got to say. Now on to probably the one with the most to talk about. Let's get everything out. Let's get everything out here for the Back to the Future crossover. Let's see, right there. We have truck. Hey, come here. I will explain this in a second. Don't worry. We also have this guy. Hold up, we're not done. And then this guy. I think that's all of it actually. So it's not as much as I was thinking, but it still was quite. It's a good bit compared to everyone else. So here is all of the ideal crossovers, of course. We'll start out with Gigawatt, since he is the one that's already had a toy made of him. Gigawatt here. I think simply they should just make a 3rd movie Back to the Future version of this guy. I think it'd be really, really cool. Make him, like that, give him the sniper rifle. He doesn't need to have this, obviously. I feel like one thing they try to do is like make the chest box look like be smaller so it fit into this gap. So then when he turned into robot mode, it could flip over still. Don't do that. Just let him have the hood box. It looks cool. Because I have that model kit version. It's in my drawer over there, actually. I do know that for a fact. And it looks pretty cool. It's unpainted. It's just a great piece of plastic, but it still looks pretty cool. I think that's what they should do with this guy. Make him permanently have one of those or something like that. And I think that would be really cool. A 3rd movie version of this guy would be dope, because we already have this version that could turn into the 1st and 2nd movie version. And I'm just going to say it, that port there on the back of his legs there for the car mode to have Mr. Fusion on the back is one of the worst ports ever. So I definitely think if they're going to make the new version, and it's probably going to be removable, make that port way better. That's one of the biggest upgrades they need to do to this guy. Also, probably repaint these black strips here. Make them like silver or like gray at least. Make them something like that, because they were never black. Black, I feel like, stands out a little too much. Or blue, even. I would take blue. I think it'd be pretty neat. But yeah, is that all I need to say about that guy? I think that's all I need to say for now. So we'll set him right there, peeking out in the corner. We'll wait for this guy. Of course, I know a lot of people are already going to know what this is, so we'll talk about him in a second. This guy right here. This is the Playmobil truck, of course. I'm just bringing it out for an example. I think, flat out, they should make the truck from the comic book. I think they should make the... I keep feeling like I'm hearing something. Oh, it's just outside. It's thunder rumbling. Okay, I thought it was my brother up here. He's always super loud. Bigfoot man over here. But yeah, not he. I think they should make this an actual toy. The truck, I think they should make a toy. Because it was teased in the comic book at the end of the thing. I know it was just IDW trying to make a comic book to advertise the toy, but still, I think it'd be really cool if they took a little, sorry, I was looking at a truck go by. Damn it! But yeah, I think what they should do is, engine detail, of course. Put a Decepticon logo right here. Make the truck, that's what they did. They put a symbol right here, on the truck in the comic, and I think they should make it into a toy. I think you can hear it. My brother's here. Don't want to bother him while making a video. Okay. So I think they should definitely make the truck here. I think it'd definitely be a neat thing to make, and it would be very, very interesting. Hold up, I need to go do something. I just remember something. Just had to go check something real quick. Anyways, yeah, I think they should make the truck into a transformer. It would be very cool. I love how the little Playmobil figures is just like. But yeah, it'd be definitely really cool. I don't know why it's a Decepticon, but okay. It still would be very, very cool. And yeah, I think they should make the truck. What else? Oh yeah, this guy right here. Very easy, very self-explanatory. I think they should make the train and then give it a bit of track. Maybe a loop of track if they were nice. Because again, it'd be cool. Oh yeah, that's one thing too. I just remembered it for the Gigawatt here. Make a 2-pack. That or make it the wheels come off. Make this guy either have, I guess, a 2-pack of like the train. No, 2-pack wouldn't really work because then the wheels would be the only difference. That's another thing I forgot to say. When you make the Back to the Future 3 version with the white walled wheels, make the wheels. You don't need to give it hover conversion. Nobody's gonna use it. It never used it in the third movie. Even in the third movie, they did say that it did not have the ability to hover convert anymore. Remove that ability entirely. Give him the wheels and just add a little peg on there, like a clip or something like that, and then make it decently easy to remove. And then you could pop on a train wheel and then make a custom train track for this guy to ride on with the train. I think that would be very, very cool. Right there you go. Give him the train. I think it would be very cool. Make the train. It'd be very, very neat, and I would totally buy it. Oh yeah, this guy real quick. I brought this out. This is, of course, Rodimus Prime's trailer. I know a lot of people are probably like, why do you have this? This has nothing to do with Back to the Future. I mean, it wasn't the comic for the Transformer movie. But anyways, yeah. This is the only trailer I own, and I think that in mainline territory, that this guy fits in. And that can fully shut. I think it'd be cool if they retooled this and made it into a transforming version of the truck from the mall. I think what they could do, actually, was maybe just have it like this, have a truck slide into the front, maybe remove this top part here. Again, just try to leave as much as the room area here in the truck itself, and then add a truck on here. Either make it the trailer itself transform, or just have the truck bit come off like Rodimus does, and then make it transform. You don't have to make the truck come off and make it its own vehicle. It could easily just be a thing that needs to have this to be a full-on vehicle. That would be fine. But yeah, another Transformer crossover they can make as well is the van, the blue van from Back to the Future. That could be a Transformer as well. That would be cool too. Make that a 2-pack. Make the truck with the van. You don't always have to, like with the Jurassic Park crossovers. It's cool what they do, but you don't always have to sell 2 figures together from the same scene. You don't always have to do that. It's fine if you don't. You could put them in a 2-pack together. They've done that before with, like, Transformers before, too. They've sold 2 Bumblebees. 2 Bumblebees together. Just do that. You don't always need to have some big epic scene like from the first Jurassic Park thing. It's cool. Don't get me wrong, it fits. But I'm trying to make an example here. It doesn't always have to be that. Not saying they should have made the Jurassic Park crossovers not in a 2-pack. It's fine. It's very cool. It's good what they did. I'm just giving you an example. It doesn't always have to be the same scene, you know. But yeah, is that everything? Yep. Now to talk about the big guy. I think they should make a Clock Tower Transformer. Also in the comics, they did have a Clock Tower Transformer. This guy is held together by tape, as you can see. A lot of tape is on there because I could not get the tabs to hold together, and I made this a long time ago and I was getting frustrated with it. It really just sits in my closet now. I think Playmobil really should have made this plastic. I think it would have worked so much better if it was like the firehouse. Make it, even if you have to, I would have been totally fine with if it was just a solid piece of plastic with paint on there. I would have rather had that than this. But yeah, I get it, they're trying to save materials, but still, come on, if you're trying to sell a product, you should have made it out of plastic. Just make it one big solid piece of plastic, that'd be fine. And then maybe, yeah, one little indent here with the platform. Other than that, it's fine. But yeah, also this antenna thing is a pathetic excuse of an antenna because mine does not stay up at all. And then these things turn as well. Whatever. This is just here for example. We're not here to talk about it itself. Also, why the hell is there just this? I'm sorry, language. I don't know why you have this here. This breaks up the whole feel of the set. But anyways, yeah. I get branding, but still, yeah. I think with this, they could take it from the comics the Transformers one and then make a Transformer version. I think at the very least, make it a Commander class. If you're gonna try and make it small and not a Titan class, make it Commander. Make it as big as Jetfire maybe, or a little bit bigger. I know it would be underscaled, but yeah, I think what they should do is take this and make it Titan. Make it a frickin' Titan class character. It'd be very unique too. It would be the first of its kind. When have they ever, like, think about this. When have they ever made a just single building Transformer? They have made vehicle Transformers, animal Transformers, and city Transformers. Those are just some of the main ones. They have never made just a building Transformer. They've never done that to my knowledge. There probably has been one, but to my knowledge there hasn't, so that means it doesn't exist. Just like that. That was just like, no. I don't know why I did that. But yeah. Also, what kind of stairs are these? It's flat. It's a ramp. Jesus, this is why it would have been better if it was a solid plastic chunk. Yeah, make it like this piece here, clip onto this. It can be 2 big chunks of plastic. I don't care. Should have made it plastic. Would have been a lot more sturdy in the long run. Cardboard, I'm pretty sure probably would dissolve and get eaten away at many, many different things. But yeah, I think they should make a clock tower version of it. I think what they should do is retool the Arc a little bit, or take chunks from the Arc. Because one similarity I see between the Arc and the clock tower here was like the Arc obviously has those famous big gigantic calves. We all know that very well. But with the clock tower in the comic, if I had I do have the comic somewhere, just not on hand right now. They're in my room somewhere, just not on hand. But yeah, I think they should take from the knees down the leg section off the Arc, retool that a little bit, remold it, resculpt it, whatever the hell you have to do for it to fit on another toy, and give it to the clock tower here. Because the clock tower, also in the comics, if you saw it, had weirdly massive calves. I think this guy would work very well if it was a Titan. Something like this, maybe a bit bigger. It doesn't need to have this. It'd be cool, I guess, kind of a base plate. If they did do that, it'd probably have to be a crossover, like, exclusive or something. Like, what is the thing they do? Like, HasLab exclusive. That's what it is. HasLab. HasLab? HasLab Unicron. HasLab. Yeah. HasLab Unicron is what it was. I'm trying to say the name with it. With this, it is, sorry, someone just texted me, so now I'm distracted. Dang it, Grandma. My grandma texted me. That's why I'm distracted. Anyways, I think they should, take... Oh my god, okay, I can think again. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Blitches. Anyways, yeah, I think if they did make this, it'd probably be like an exclusive thing on like HasLab, because it would be a very hefty product, especially for a crossover. But yeah, that's just some of my ideas. Yeah, again, it'd be very, very cool. It definitely would have to be thicker than this thing. Very thick. It'd probably be pretty heavy too. The amount of plastic and joints in there for this thing to compact down, it'd definitely be a very, very hefty product. It might rival maybe Unicron. It'd probably be in that ballpark of weight, because again, it's probably gonna be like maybe about this wide, maybe this tall. Because again, this is pretty accurate to the comics. If you remember watching the comics and stuff, this is pretty accurate to how big it was in the comic. What would probably end up happening? It'd probably be this, but probably like, God, I don't know, maybe this like, hold on, let me straighten that out. Maybe like this is a thing too, you see it doesn't even sit straight. Maybe like, Jesus, I don't know, this extra thick? Maybe like that thick? It'd be very big. Probably an extra 4 or 5 inches of width to make this thing work as a figure. But yeah, it'd definitely be a very hefty product, and it'd probably have to be like an exclusive thing for like high-end collectors. You know, probably the only way they could sell the base with it would be that it'd be like a display base for it. Probably have to have like it maybe like have footmarks in it, or like the ability probably when this thing comes off of the base, you could probably have footmarks underneath of it, so then you could display him like that, so he wouldn't move or move around, or have pegs somewhere. I don't know. It's just, it'd be a very, very cool figure, and I would want to 100% buy it and put it with him, with this guy. I'd probably have to wait, though, until I got a job so I can earn my own money, and then buy it. I definitely would try to get it. It'd definitely be a very, very cool product. And I'm willing to bet if they made it, it'd probably sell out, maybe. It's like, same thing with the truck and, like, other versions of Gigawatt. But, yeah, I know I'm probably overthinking all of this, but I still think it'd be a very, very cool thing. It's kind of like, I guess, if they made, like, they made a clock tower transform, it kind of, maybe what if they made the firehouse from Ghostbusters transform? I'm looking at it, it's over there right now, off camera. What if they made the firehouse transform? That'd be pretty cool, I'll admit. But, yeah, I think that's all I gotta say for now, guys, about crossovers. Jesus, I did not intend for this video to be almost 40 minutes. Crikey. Jesus. But, yeah. Let me go handheld here so you can see everything right there. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I loved making it. It was super fun and enjoyable for me. So, I hope you guys enjoyed looking at... Oh, excuse me, Jesus. Keep burping. Excuse me, there you go. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed all of these figures and looking at them and potential crossover ideas. I loved making this video, and especially like with Devastator there, I love getting him on camera at any time I can. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for now, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, pipe your proton packs, fire your steam locomotives, start your DeLoreans, and let's transform and roll out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!